407 years ago, Toastmasters wondered how to begin their speeches. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be talking to you about beginning your speech. When you're giving a speech, the first thing that you say and the last thing that you say can be the most important elements of your speech. And that, how you get the audience attention and how you keep the audience attention. So today I'm going to be covering a few things. The criteria for a successful opening techniques, and what not to do in your opening techniques. So why is the first thing that you say the most important? One, again, it gets your audience attention. You want them to know what you're talking about. You want them to know why it's important for them. So beginning your speech lets your audience know, here's what I'm going to be talking to you about, and here's why it's important to you. And also those elements are going to be incorporated into your introduction. But also you want to let them know the topic, kind of introduce your topic, not maybe all at once, but there may be occasions where you want to do it all at once. There may be occasions where you just want to trickle into it lightly and then give the punch later. But you don't want to keep your audience waiting in anticipation for too long. You want to make sure that they know, because if I don't know why it's important to me, what's in it for me, what have you done for me lately, I don't know that I'm going to give that much attention to it. And that's how you want to keep your audience attention. Also, you want to establish rapport. When you get up to the audience, is that person funny? Should I laugh at them? Is that person serious? Do they look credible? And these are all elements to giving a good speech, being a good speaker. So, smile. Show some enthusiasm. Be excited about what you're talking about, even if it's how many licks it takes to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. You're giving some information that you believe the audience needs to know. And so that's why your introduction and beginning your speech can be really important. And make eye contact. It brings your audience member in. It lets them really help to develop that relationship with you and that rapport, and it makes them feel special. When I'm direct eye contact, Judy believes that I'm talking specifically to her. And isn't that important? When I'm giving a speech, I want you to feel special as much as I can. What's also important about your introduction at the beginning of your speech, you want it to be 10% or less of the entire time of your speech. Because what you want to do is set the stage, get the audience attention, set the stage, and you want to spend most of your time on the body, because that's where all the good juicy stories and wonderful statistics that you've pulled and the information, that's where all the good stuff is. You want to have an introduction, it's very important, but let that be less than 10% of your total speech time. So some techniques on how to create a good beginning of your speech. Why is this topic important? Think about that. What can I say that makes you think this is important? Maybe I'm speaking on the dangers of the sun to our skin. A golden tan is really beautiful, but the sun can damage your skin. 50,000 people a year suffer skin cancers of some kind. Maybe you've got a statistic around there. So you let them know, hey, here's some fun things that we like to do, but pay attention, people. The fun thing that we like to do can cause damage. And then you go into what's important for your speech. So why is it important? What's the topic so that you want to share with your audience? Also, a lot of times making a startling statement. 50,000 people died. What? Smoking cigarettes last year or whatever your topic is. A startling statement, something to really get their attention, because that's what you want to do. You don't have to be scary necessarily, and you don't have to be overly dramatic, but keep in mind, sometimes that voice inflection, that body language can really make a difference when you're trying to get your audience attention. Again, the first thing you say and the last thing you say are really what's going to make an impact on our audience. And then arouse their curiosity, and I talked about this just for briefly moments ago. Maybe I want to just dangle a little carrot in front of you. Did you know people who wear gold dangly earrings? How often do you wear gold dangly earrings? People who wear gold dangly earrings are considered by thousands to be the most attractive people in the world. Now, I just made that up because I love your earrings. But consider that. So I kept you dangling for just a few seconds. The gold dangly earrings, well, shucks, I put on studs today. What am I doing? Gold dangly earring. But so kind of dangle that a little bit. Pique their curiosity, make them curious, and you'll see as you begin to give more speeches, people will begin to lean in to hear you. Ooh, royal blue shirts, navy shirts. Those are the most attractive people considered by thousands. Ooh, and they want to lean in and they want to know. So arouse their curiosity. Maybe the beginning of your speech is a quick story. Maybe it's a quick joke. That's okay. You want to get their attention. I was walking to the store the other day, and boy, I fell and broke my leg. Can you believe it? And then you talk about maybe it's wearing casts, or maybe curbs are too high, or whatever it is that your speech is. So tell a short story. Remember, your opening should be 10% or less of the beginning of your speech. Maybe you've got a rhetorical question, or a question. Audience participation is always a good way to get the audience attention quickly. How many of you drive green cars? Okay, no one drives a green car. Well, did you know that people who drive green cars, and then you go into, but get the audience attention, and it makes them feel involved. So, I saw the red card, and I got stuck. So forgive me.
That's fine.
So asking a rhetorical question, again, perhaps begin with a quote, like I did. I'm giving you a quote. It doesn't necessarily have to be a quote from a president or a scholar. One of my favorite quotes is from my favorite aunt. Hers is, "All's well that ends." May not end well, but gosh darn it, sometimes as long as it's over, it's a good thing. All's well that ends. So that's my favorite quote. So maybe begin with a quote, but again, get your audience attention. Some of the things that you want to make sure that you include, and these were I just mentioned a few of them. Humor, again, audience participation, a demonstration perhaps. I've seen someone do a magic trick. I think College of Knowledge, someone said they did a magic trick. But something that's going to get their attention, and then you're off to the races, because that's what's really most important. What you want to make sure to avoid is boring your audience with how long it took you to prepare. Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, it took me 6 weeks to pull all this information, so I want all y'all to be real grateful now. Want y'all to be grateful? It took me a long time to get all that. Honestly, nobody cares. Truthfully, we don't care. Not to be rude, but we don't care. What we want from you as a speaker, to give us the stuff, give us the poop, give us that great story, get our attention, give us all that good data that you pulled. Tell us how we can do something different, if it's volunteering or if it's exercising or the different things that we can do. So don't bore your audience with the length of time it took you to prepare. Probably don't really care. And then try not to be dull and boring. Doesn't mean you have to stand up here and do the soft shoe and sing and dance for everybody and tell comical jokes. So many speeches, while humor is an important element to speaking, so many speeches don't need humor necessarily. You want to talk about something more serious. It's okay, talk about something more serious. We need to hear the serious topics as well, but don't be, oh, and then we went to the hospital. and then we had the surgery. And that's just dull and boring. You can still use wonderful words, great voice inflection, great body language to get your information across. So don't be dull and boring. And finally, don't avoid mentioning your topic. Start with a story and then tell me what you're going to tell me. How does that relate to what I'm talking about, what I'm going to share with you today? Tell a joke, but then tell me what you're going to be talking to me about. So don't make me wonder halfway through the speech, what the heck does all of this mean? What is she really trying to say to me? So those are some tips. I hope that some of these topics have helped you. The criteria on what you can do to begin your speech, how to get your audience attention. I hope some of the techniques have helped you, as I've demonstrated a little bit. And I hope the items to avoid have helped you in how you can create your speech, your introduction. So a dynamic first impression is what you want to get. The first thing that you say and the last thing that you say are the most important elements of your speech. So get your audience attention, get in there, give it your wow. Don't preface it with, thank you, this person, or it took me so long, or now I've got to do this, that, and the other. I'm so-and-so, and here's the title of my speech. When you take the podium, bam, you're on. Be ready with that opening remark, and you will have your audience attention. Now I'm Toastmaster.